Devin Haney, the 8th fighter in the 4-belt era to become the undisputed champion of the world.
How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition on Split Decision. With me today is the undisputed champion of the lightweight division, the Dream, Devin Haney. How you doing, champ?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Akhi?
Doing great. Pleasure having you back on the show, champ. Last time I talked to you and I had you on the show, you was the real WBC champion. So how does it feel to go from what the critics say, the email champion, to now becoming the first undisputed lightweight champion of the world in the 4 belts era, the youngest undisputed champion in the 4 belts era, and the last to become undisputed in the lightweight division since Pernell Whitaker, which is something that haven't been done for over 30 years. How does it feel to print your name next to an all-time great in Pernell Whitaker?
I mean, it's a dream come true. This is all part of the plan, for my name to be mentioned with the greats, one day to become undisputed. So this is a blessing, and I thank Allah for it.
You are the king of the lightweight division, the undisputed champion. However, recently the WBC president said you're not officially the franchise champion yet, even though you beat the franchise champion, Kambosos, already. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, that just shows that the guys who were franchise champion, that they petitioned for it, that they pushed to become franchise champion. I haven't did any of that. I don't know the proper steps of what to do. I know that, you do have to do something. You do have to petition right to WBC or whatever to say if I win or now that I won, I want to become franchise champion. So that's something that I haven't done. But, yeah, I mean, I beat the guy who was a franchise champion. So, it speaks for itself.
Well, he said you haven't claimed it, but don't you already have the franchise belt? And didn't you say after the fight, I'm the franchise and email champion? So what is he talking about exactly when he says you haven't claimed it? You got to literally email him?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know the proper steps or the proper protocol to get the franchise, but I do have the franchise belt. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what you got to do, but yeah, I have the franchise belt, so it is what it is.
You do have the franchise belt at home.
Yeah, I got the franchise belt out.
So after all, it turned out that the franchise title is the email title because you can't win it in the ring. You have to win it via an email because you have to contact Mauricio Suleiman in order to win it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it that way, I mean, I guess you're right. Like I said, I don't know the proper steps to get the franchise belt, so I don't know. But I know that, if you beat a franchise champion in the ring, then you should be franchise champion. So I don't got to do no writing. I'm still the franchise because I beat the guy who beat the guy who beat the guy, and now I'm the guy. So I got everything. I'm not leaving nothing on the battlefield. I'm not leaving nothing up for grabs, I have everything, franchise, whatever, the regular, whatever it's out there to get, I have. So if you want anything in the lightweight division, you got to go through me. So if you want to say franchise champion, I'm that. If you want to say regular champion, I'm that too. It's whatever.
Well, it definitely doesn't make any sense whatsoever for the franchise to go vacant when you just beat the franchise champion in Kambosos. That's equivalence in the NBA. The Warriors, for example, if they win the championship, but some way, somehow, they don't get the ring, they have to email or contact the NBA to get the rings. If not, they don't get the ring, even though they won the championship. So clearly, there is no consistency there. First, the belts don't transfer in the ring. It's only a trophy, but then the belts can transfer in the ring. But now, all of a sudden, the belts do transfer via an email. It makes no sense whatsoever. The WBC definitely has to clear their mess. Nevertheless, what was your thoughts on Kambosos saying he would be a piece of shit if he takes away from your victory like Teofimo Lopez did to him? Then he pursued to making excuses stating that he hurt you a few times, he outlanded you, he outpunched you, and he felt like the fight was very close. But Devin Haney, the champion now, from what the judges said. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, he talks about Teofimo Lopez for doing the same thing that he's doing. Teofimo Lopez keeps saying that he won the fight, and he gets mad at him, and he talks shit about him. But the fight with me and him wasn't even close, like not even a little bit. I didn't give him one round. So he's doing the same thing, but at the end of the day, if you don't accept your defeat, I mean, it's no way that you can get better. So he could be injured now, and if we fight again, it'll be even worse.
And Dev, what doesn't make a whole lot of sense, he kept talking about you moving, not wanting to engage. However, you were standing right in front of him the entire night. You was
Exactly.
right there fighting him toe to toe, and you outclassed him, you outboxed him, and you gave him a boxing lesson. He barely won a minute, and he talking about the fight was very close. I found the scorecard that was 116, 112 to be outrageous because
Yeah.
that fight wasn't even that close at all. I didn't even give Kambosos a single round. So you actually predicted it. You said that
When Kambosos fought Tio, what would you call it? Was he running or was he boxing? Because it looked like he was boxing to me, but some people may say he was running. It just depends how you look at it. So he just set it up so that when he loses, he can say I was running, but he don't know that I could beat him any way that I feel like on fight night, and I will.
to make excuses. So do you think the fact that he didn't accept his defeat is gonna make it worse for him in the rematch?
Yeah, I think that he's in denial of the defeat. He don't got real people around him that's going to tell him that you just got completely outclassed, that he was the better man and he beat you from post to post. But it is what it is. I don't care if he acknowledges it. At the end of the day, that night I walked out with the belts in his home country. If we do it again, like I said, it's going to be worse.
Leading up to your last fight, Bob Arum said he wants to make Haney versus Lomachenko after the Kambosos fight. You announced that you're going to be back in October. So did Lomachenko. Is there a connection there?
It's not no connection that I know of, but like I said, I want to fight, whoever, it doesn't matter. I'm fighting in October, no matter who it is. I got nothing but respect for Loma, his country, and what he did for his country, his family, and all the soldiers, the Russian soldiers, the Ukrainian soldiers. I got nothing but respect for all of them. And if we meet in the ring, we meet in the ring. If we don't, we don't. Like I said, I want to fight the best fighters, and these guys should be calling for me now because I'm the guy with all the hardware. But it doesn't really seem that way. It seems like I'm still the hunter, which I mean, I have no problem with that because I've been doing that my whole career now. I've been hunting and I got no problem continuing to hunt, knowing that I got everything.
So you would love the Lomachenko fight in October? If it's presented, you will take it?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I want to fight the best fighters in the world. I want to prove myself time and time again. If everything makes sense, we can do it in October. It doesn't matter. If everything makes sense with George Kambosos, we can do it in October. Everything makes sense with, all these fighters out there. I'm willing to fight them.
Well, you called out Vasyl Lomachenko on many multiple occasions, and Lomachenko revealed in the past that Undisputed is his dream, and his dream fight is Floyd Mayweather. Well, ironically, you, the dream Devin Haney, bring both of that to the table. You are the undisputed champion, and you are Floyd Mayweather prodigy. You're the closest thing to Floyd.
Yeah.
So, do you see that fight happening in the future? If not next, the fight after that? Because there's nothing holding Lomachenko from fighting you now, since you bring everything to the table.
I see the fight happening sooner than later. I think that it's just lining up. We got the same promoter, right on the same network, same weight class, and I got the belt. So, yeah, I have what he wants, and he has the name and the resume to propel me to the next step in my career, the next achievement, the next milestone in my career. So, yeah.
Have you talked to Bob Arum about making the Lomachenko fight? And if so, what did Bob Arum tell you?
No, honestly, we haven't talked much about making the Loma fight.
So Bob didn't tell you if he even talked to Lomachenko about fighting you at all.
No, we haven't talked about it.
So if you get the Kambosos rematch next, you are willing to stay at 135 longer to make the Lomachenko and Tank fights.
Of course, I've been saying this for a while now. I will make five for the base. Big fights at 135 if I'm gonna stay. And so of course, those are huge fights, massive fights, a lot of stake, a lot of money. So yeah.
Obviously, 140 is in your near future. If you do move up to 140, who will you be targeting there? You have Teofimo Lopez, Zabeta, Josh Taylor, and Ramirez. So many great names there. Is there any names in your mind that you targeting there at 140, or you're not even thinking about that right now?
I can't really say who I will be targeting at 140 because I don't really know like the rankings and all that. But I know that if I go up to 140, I would want to fight for a title straight away. You know, whoever they would make the mandatory, you know, but me versus whoever, uh, that's who I would want to fight.
One of your rivals, Teofimo Lopez, he's scheduled to fight in the next couple of weeks. We don't know against who, it's an unknown fighter. But why do you think Teofimo never took the rematch with Kambosos? Teo made a lot of excuses. Kambosos did offer him the rematch, and he refused. Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't really understand that. Maybe because he just genuinely couldn't make the weight. Maybe the weight cut just took a lot out of him. I don't know.
But you having a hard time making the weight, and you still did what you had to do. And a fight before that, Teofimo fought Lomachenko and beat him easily. You fought Kome and he knocked him out. So do you really buy into the weight excuse?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he didn't rematch him. I couldn't tell you. Maybe he just felt like Kambosos was a better man. I don't know. I don't know. Kambosos maybe just beat like the wool out of him. I can't really say, like because normally when someone takes a loss, it's no matter what, they just want a rematch, just because like to get another shot at the titles, another shot at the person that beat him. But it's surprising that he didn't want the rematch. You don't. That's very rare. You don't ever really hear that.
Styles do make fights. Do you think Kambosos has Teofimo Lopez's number?
I know that he had his number that night when they fought. So I can't really say if he has his number completely, but I know that night that he was the far better man. He won the fight clearly, and he pretty much beat the will out of him. He beat him clearly. So that night he had his number. I can see definitely where his style got the best of Teofimo, with him just being overly aggressive and like just not thinking like his IQ, just going for broke. See, with me, I'm a thinker in the ring, and my IQ is on a whole nother level. So you can't just beat me by trying to go mano to mano. With me, you gotta like be able to think and have IQ, and that's what Tio just doesn't have.
On another note, Oscar De La Hoya said Tank versus Haney is the most exciting fight in boxing. What's your thoughts on him stating you versus Tank is the most exciting fight in boxing instead of Ryan Garcia, the fighter he promotes? What's your thoughts on that?
He know that Ryan don't even want to fight Tank. Ryan just talking. Ryan just using Tank for clout and publicity. Like that's what Ryan do. Ryan not gonna fight nobody. Ryan is the only person that will call out the top guys and then go fight a guy who just lost his last fight.
So you didn't think much of his fight with Fortuna? You think it
Fortuna,
was
which was Fortuna was coming off a loss. Ryan is the only person that does that in the lightweight division. Out of the top guys, he's the only one that fights guys that's coming off losses. A guy coming off a loss is always his biggest fight. Like Javier Fortuna was his biggest fight coming off of a loss.
Well, speaking of Ryan, Ryan recently said belts don't mean shit. I wouldn't be proud if I beat Kambosos to become undisputed. But ironically, Ryan was desperately calling out Kambosos before you beat him because he said he want the belts. In fact, he's still calling out Kambosos to this day. But now that you got the belts, he no longer wants the belts.
I kind of want to get the titles, either Kambosos or Lomachenko. Whoever got the bouts, to be honest, I'm just expressing what I would want.
I mean, I would love that opportunity to fight.
I hope you get it. How about this?
Hopefully
Tank
he wants it.
Well, talk to him.
Come on.
They're saying that he would go to Australia and he would do this and do that. Yeah, I know. I remember when he was calling out. Okay, boss, he's just jealous. That's it. He's just jealous that he don't have the belts. That he can't even get a belt in the lightweight division. So that's why he got to go up to 140, because he can't win a belt in the lightweight division because I have all the belts. So now he's going up in weight to try to go win a vacant belt or try to go find the weakest link in 140-pound division and win a belt because he can't get a belt at lightweight.
You are giving him too much credit, Dave, because he wasn't willing to fight Kambosos in Australia. He wanted to fight Kambosos in the United States. He wasn't willing to travel, and he wanted a tune-up fight. So he wanted a tune-up, and he wasn't willing to fight Kambosos in Australia. So he wanted to fight Kambosos at his own terms. So
Right.
how you feel about him discrediting you for doing something that he wasn't willing to do?
Listen, the people that he idolized in the sport of boxing is the same people that one day they're going to mention my name with them. When they mention Undisputed Champions, they're going to mention Devin Haney. They would never mention Ryan Garcia as a champion. Well, as of now, if everything was to stop today, he would not be going down in the history books as a champion. And it's very few fighters. It was some great fighters that was, we look back and they say it was a great fighter and they never won a title. But it's very few. To really be mentioned with the greats, you got to win belts. In boxing, you just have to. That's just what it is, no matter what. You have to be a champion. And Ryan Garcia can't win a belt.
Dev, does that surprise you? Because Ryan stayed wearing toy belts during interviews in the ring when you stepped in the ring with him. And on his Instagram, Ryan stayed wearing belts that are not even real. But he says the real belts don't matter. What's your thoughts on that?
That's like you walking and talking about cars don't mean shit. Or that's like you not having a house and saying, oh yeah, houses don't mean shit. I don't care about no house. Of course you don't have a house. Of course you don't have a car. So of course you're gonna say it don't mean shit. I think it's just he can't win a belt. Like he's trying to maneuver his way and try to win a belt as easy as possible. He's trying to find the weakest link. Right now in the lightweight division, there is none because it's only me. And he's trying to go up to 140 and see. He just saying that because he doesn't have a belt. So of course he's gonna say that. Like that's just like an obvious statement that he's just jealous. And Mauricio Sulaiman said the same thing, that he jealous. He's jealous of the person that got the belts.
Champ, that's a great point. Everyone wants to get rich. If you are in the jungle and you have no weapons, and there's a treasure that has $1,000,000 in it, however, you have to go through a lion to get it. You have to go through this lion den where there's a hungry lion in the lion's den. No matter how much you want to get rich, no matter how bad you want to get this treasure, obviously you want this treasure, but you're not going to go through the lion to get it. That's too much of a risk. And that's equivalence of how Ryan treating you. He's treating you like the lion that's keeping the treasure hostage, the undisputed treasure. And clearly, you're the lion that's holding the belts. And Ryan doesn't want to take the risk of going through you in order to get the undisputed title. But he was willing to fight Kambosos to get the titles. However, he's just not willing to go through you to get the titles. When Oscar De La Hoya was 23-0, he had already fought in 11 title fights. Ryan had fought in 0 title fights. Now, when he's 23-0, Chavez recently came out and dissed Ryan, saying that he effed up in the head for making that statement. But do you feel like when fighters downplay becoming undisputed and the belts in boxing, that waters down the sport? You have Ryan Garcia, who recently,
Because I mean,
is even Bernard Hopkins. I don't know if you heard Bernard, the first to ever become undisputed in the four belts era. He's even downplaying undisputed, which is so shocking to hear because I'm pretty sure that's like every young kid dream is to become a champion, especially undisputed. If you could achieve that, that's a huge achievement, the biggest achievement a boxer can make. So what's your thoughts on that?
yeah, I do think that it's watering down the sport. Watering down the belts. Like at the end of the day, like kids look up to that. Like it was always a dream of mine to become champion. Like when I was little, like it's like a viral video of me like walking out with Zab and I was holding the Ring Magazine belt. And at that time, I didn't know what the Ring Magazine belt was. I just held it because it looked the best to me. I liked the way that it looked. So I was like, oh, I want to hold that one because it was like, it had colors and it was just like, I just liked the way that it looked. So like you think belts is everything when you're a little kid. Like, in the amateurs, you want to win belts. So when you get to the pros, like it seems so far out. But when you water it down, like it waters down our sport.
You said in the past that people believe Ryan is the weakest link. Well, Ryan said the contrary. He said you the toughest link. So he has you last on his hit list. Is that the real reason why Ryan, he don't want to fight you anytime soon?
Ryan Garcia don't want to fight nobody at all. Not even just me. He don't want to fight nobody. He's not going to fight nobody. His last fight, his biggest fight, he fought somebody coming off of a loss. He fought Javier Fortuna after Javier Fortuna looked the worst he ever looked before against Jojo Diaz. Come on now. Of course.
On the $1 Million Game, you talked about how social media changed the game, how fighters get paid based on followers.
Yeah.
But why is Ryan the least paid fighter still when he has more followers than you and Tank? If that's the case.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say. He ain't got no hardware. He ain't got no belts. Tank didn't want belts. I didn't want belts. Ryan Garcia ain't did shit.
Ryan said he's saving you because you're not big enough. But he just fought to go and then Fortuna. And now he calling out Teofimo and Kambosos, even your leftover. So how are those bigger fights than you?
You just gotta, you gotta be. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm not here to focus on Ryan Garcia. Like I said, he ain't nobody to me. He got some Instagram followers. That's all he got. So I don't give a fuck about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia could go on about his life and go do whatever he want to do, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, fight for no belts, fight for nothing, whatever. Do exhibition, whatever he want to do. That's damn near what he doing is exhibition matches. So if that's what he want to do, it is what it is. He don't mean nothing to me.
Switching subjects, Gervonta Davis said Ryan might have to wait because I want to fight Devin Haney next. If you win undisputed against Kambosos, then I want Devin Haney next. Are you surprised that you're still not next?
No, I'm not surprised. These guys say a lot, but when it come down to fighting, they don't never really say nothing when it comes to that. I mean, he said that before the fight, then after the fight, we ain't heard nothing, right?
I mean, yeah, we haven't heard much from Gervonta. He want to fight Ryan now. He actually pursuing the Ryan fight. They are in negotiations. But there, Gervonta never called anybody out, but he called you out. He said, you're next. A lot of people believed that was going to be the case. So what changed?
Man, that was cap. That was cap. You know, he just was just saying it. It sounded good at the time.
And you don't believe the Ryan fight will happen with Tank. So you think Tank is wasting his time with Ryan?
Yeah.
Well, you are the undisputed king at the lightweight division, but you have the critics that say you have to clear out the division to be the king. But how can you clean out a division when none of the big dogs or the top dogs want to fight you?
The
None of
division is cleaned out. Like I said, I put structure into the lightweight division. It's cleaned out. You know, it was debate and that belt, and this belt. Now I got everything. It is structure in there. So if you want something in the lightweight division, you got to go through me. That's cleaned out. I cleaned it out. So if somebody wants anything to win in the lightweight division, you got to go through me. What more can I possibly do?
the critics, they do say, oh, you got to fight Tank, you got to fight Ryan, you got to fight Lomachenko, you got to clean those guys out. But my question to you is, how can you clean out the entire division and fight those guys when they not willing to fight you? When your own mandatories don't want to fight you. Lomachenko, his comeback fight, most likely a tune-up fight. Ryan want to fight Tank. Tank want to fight Ryan. And no one is challenging you for your undisputed throne, at least the top dogs, the Fabulous Four of your division. Mm-hmm. So how can you clean out a division when no one is willing to challenge you for your undisputed throne?
I mean, if you don't want a shot at undisputed, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't really say, like.
Are you aware that you the only undisputed champion in history that don't have any mandatories?
Yeah, you know, it actually surprised me. I thought mandatories was gonna come knocking at the door right when you win, but it was actually surprising that I'm still waiting on a mandatory.
Yeah, that is shocking. I asked you leading up to the Kambosos fight where you think you're going to be once you beat Kambosos when it comes to the pound for pound list. Well, recently ESPN put Lomachenko over you on the pound for pound list, and they don't even have you on the pound for pound list, but they had Loma, a person with 2 losses and less than 20 fights, and he recently lost to Teo. That makes no sense at all because you beat the man who beat the man who beat the man that beat him. So does it shock you that you're not even on the pound for pound list, on the old media's pound for pound list, even though you are undisputed and they have people like Lomachenko on the pound for pound list?
It does, because they said the lightweight division was the best division in boxing. They said that, right? They said all this and that, the lightweight division, the future, and then now that it's an undisputed champion in the lightweight division, they don't even put him on the pound for pound list. That's like ridiculous to me. But it is what it is. Like I said before, the pound for pound list is an opinionated list. That's just a made up list. That's just off some guys' opinion who, have relationships with these guys and these guys, and they all come together and they make the pound for pound list. I don't take it personal. It's no facts behind it. It's no score system or nothing like like that. It's no structure really into that list. So they can keep me off the list. I mean, it is what it is. The proof is in the pudding. They can't take Undisputed from me, so that's all that matters.
They definitely can't take you out of the Undisputed list. But when it comes to it's being an opinionated list, it's a biased opinion because Usyk, who is a great fighter, he became undisputed at cruiserweight. We all know cruiserweight is one of the weakest divisions in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he became undisputed, they put him number 6 on the pound for pound list just because he became undisputed, right? So by them, the same standards, if we apply that to you, you should be on the pound for pound list, number 6, number 5, at least.
Yeah, Teo on the pound for pound list too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's clearly an agenda. They have an agenda, and they favor certain fighters, and that's why they don't have you on the list, because it makes no sense that you and Charlo, 2 undisputed fighters, not even on the top 10 pound for pound list. So when it comes to your next fight, so it is Kambosos. You guys are in negotiations.
Yeah, and we're in negotiations, but nothing is set in stone. But we are negotiating, and we'll see.
This time around, when it comes to Bill Haney and the visa, I'm assuming you could demand for Bill Haney to be there, or if not, you don't have to travel and fight him. How does that?
Of course. Just because it just was so much in the air the last time, yeah. It has to be like they have to show me that my dad would be able to come. Like there have to be a guarantee that my pops would be able to make it there, and it won't be like I won't have to train without him or nothing like that. Not no days before the fight, nothing like that. He has to be there when I arrive weeks before the fight, if the fight goes through.
And when you say if the fight goes through, why can't the fight go through?
It's just boxing, everything. It has to make sense for me and my team. Even a big thing is, my whole team being able to make it, not just my dad. My last fight, I didn't have my cut man. I didn't have my guy to wrap my hands. I didn't have I had to find somebody to do my cuts and wrap my hands, a random guy. So, that just shows you what type of fighter I am, what type of person that I am. But this time around, I don't want to have to, go through that again. At the end of the day, I did it, got through it. Now why would I have to do it again if I already did it? So, it just, a lot of things need to be tweaked. And when those things get tweaked, then you guys will see the fight being made.
So you have the option to vacate and move up if the deal is not right and it's not structured how you want it to be, right? Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
I want to get your thoughts on ESPN Joe Tessitore stating that he never thought Kambosos was really that good in the first place after you beat him. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they going to say what they going to say now because, I beat him. But before that, everyone was saying that it was a 50-50 fight and, they think that it gave Kambosos the edge and all that. So, of course, when I make him, look like that. I said that before the fight that after the fight, they're going to say that he wasn't that guy, he wasn't this, he wasn't that, because I make him look like that. Against Teo, he looked like this big, bad fighter, but against me, he looked average, and I make him look like that. So it is what it is. It's going to continue to be like that for a long time because I handicap these guys at their best attributes, and they can't do nothing.
That's a great point. He did beat Teo, who was on the pound-for-pound list. He didn't just beat him, he destroyed him. We don't even know if Teo is going to be the same. And remember, before the fight, Joe Tessitore, for example, he actually was praising Kambosos, and he said that he was already undisputed. He never said none of these things, that he's not a good fighter or he's not that good of a fighter. I mean, it means nothing after the fact, after the fight, to say, oh, well, he wasn't that good to begin with. Why didn't Tessitore say that leading up to the fight or before the fight was even made? He never critiqued Kambosos like that. But did Tessitore or anybody at ESPN say anything to you after the fight when you became undisputed?
I mean, not that negative, or positive stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, they all, praised my performance, told me it was a master class and all this. But yeah.
And who's they?
I mean, everybody that, on ESPN, Top Rank, I can't, remember, name the guys off the top of my head. But, everybody, the whole world was reaching out and congratulating me. So
that's what's up. Well, Dan, before I let you go, I do got a couple predictions for you on the fights coming up. Now, if you have $1 million and if you don't use this $1 million to bet on this fight, you will lose it. And you have to put it on one fighter. Who would you put it on? Crawford versus Errol Spence. Who would you put $1 million?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't put the million on neither one of them. And both my guys, I fuck with both of them. I think that's a 50-50 fight. I fuck with Earl. I fuck with Crawford. And I just want to see the fight. You know, may the best man win.
Well, you're going to lose the million anyway if you don't use it. So you don't want to put it on either one of them?
I'm going to lose it.
Gervonta versus Ryan if it do happen.
Tank, for sure.
From 1 to 10, what is Ryan's chances of winning?
I mean, he has a chance because he has a punch. He can punch, but I just don't see Ryan being able to do anything to stop Tank.
Canelo versus Triple G.
I think Canelo.
Jake Paul versus Rahman Jr.
I think that's a good fight. You know, I've been around Hassan since I was a little kid. As long as I remember, we used to go to tournaments together when I was like 13, 12. I want to say even like 11. We went to like the Gene Lewis tournament. So I've been knowing Hassan for a long time. And Jake Paul, steady evolving. You know, his work ethic is crazy. I've been watching him work. He got a great team behind him. We just got to see. I'm going to be at that fight because I want to see it in person. I just want to see how Jake Paul can stand up against a real boxer, somebody who has experience, who's much bigger. But you also got to see how Sim is going to react with the weight cut. You know, him having to lose weight. He's been big all his life. So once you don't really know how to cut weight, once your body not used to cutting weight, you know, it takes a lot out of you. So I don't know. I can't say.
Were you surprised Jake took that fight, though?
Nah, I'm not surprised Jake took the fight because I've been watching Jake for a while now, and I've been in the gym with him. I've seen the skills that he has, the work ethic that he has. So he's been boxing real boxers for a while now in the gym, like top pros. So, no, I'm not surprised. I think he's definitely ready for a fight like that. I don't think that it's like, you know, far out. I think he's ready for a fight like that.
Devin Haney favorite fighters right now?
Earl, Crawford, Shakur, Canelo, Inoue, Scooter, Stephen Fulton, Benavidez, Charlo brothers. Let me give you some guys like on the come up, like some guys who like not champion yet. I like Raymond Ford. I like Truck, Mari Jones. Yeah, I like Shushu. I've been knowing Shushu since we were little kids. We used to spar when we was little.
Or you sparred Shushu before?
Yeah, when we was like little kids. Yeah, I think he's a good fighter. He's doing good in the pros. He's adjusting his style like to the pros good. Like most guys, when they be amateur for so long, that it'd be hard to make that adjustment to the pros.
Last thing you want to leave to the fans? What do you want to tell the fans that's been following you, supporting you?
Thank you to all my fans. Thank you to all the people that's been supporting me, you know, through this journey. It's been a long journey. Supported me when I was in, you know, Australia. You know, this is only the beginning. You know, we got a long road. I'm going to be champion for a long time. And for the rest of my career, I will be champion. And, you know, I can't wait to get back in the ring in October and give you guys another master class.
Yes, sir. Well, pleasure having you on the show yet again, champ. Thank you.
Thank you, Akhi.